Okay, the last couple of things that we want to do on our production sequence. This document will be nice and pretty, ready for us to even frame and put on the wall. In fact, if you really look at the text here and get into read it, this gives us an idea of how it is that we can do our formatting. Look at format the correct size, then add and align the outer stroke, then create a text inset, the typing, then we character format, then we paragraph format, and we proof our work. But there's one thing that we kind of sort of forgot. It's a cleanup type of thing. You see how I've got all the space around towards the bottom and then at the top? Well, it's a nice margin. But what if I want that to be in the center vertically, okay, a vertical treatment? Just the same amount of space on the top as the bottom as opposed to side. We can do that. If we go ahead and select, okay, our text frame, we're going to go to the object because we're really controlling the text frame and how the things it controls the text inside. And so we're going to text frame options. Or you can use Command or Control B. That'll get us there. All right, in this, we've seen this before. It helped us with our inset spacing, and you can see it right here. But what we're looking for now is vertical justification. We're looking for the alignment, okay? And we want to, instead of top, we want center. Now justify is going to spread it out within the inset. I don't necessarily want that either. So I want to center it, and it'll respond immediately because I've got preview checked so that we can see what's going on before we click OK. Alright, and so now I'm balancing out the space between the top and the bottom. Click OK, and that looks pretty good. So the last thing that I want to do is check the spelling. Now there are several situations where you can check spelling. You could check like highlight a line of text or all of your text. Highlighting it means we've got something selected. So we can spell checks whatever we select, or we can do the document, which if you have multiple pages, it could be the whole entire document. Let's take a look at that. So if we were to go up to the Edit drop-down menu, and we're looking at spelling, all right, we need to check our spelling. We can turn on autocorrect. Sometimes that is a bit annoying, but we can also add words to the dictionary as we go along. It has that capability as well. So check spelling. Are we ready to check spelling? And so then we have a start button and a done button. We can also change something to it. But are we searching? What are we searching in? Okay, this right here, what do we search? The selection? Well, I have all the text selected, but I could choose to select one thing or a paragraph or something like that. But we have these choices. We could spell check all documents. That is, if you're doing a book and you have several documents kind of knitted together in the same project, you could do all documents. We can do the document itself, which means multiple pages. Again, it's more convenient with that for that. We could do a story, which means that if we have text frames and they're connected with a few text frames across a few pages, we could just do the story. Or if I have partially, where if I have a cursor set into a certain area, we can go from there all the way to the end of the story and include only those things. Or the selection. So for now, selection's okay. That's what I've selected, everything. But I'm going to go ahead and click on Start. All right. Oh, so nothing happened. Okay. And that is because there's nothing wrong that it found to be wrong. Okay, so if I were to go in here and deliberately spell something incorrect. I'm going to select all. Okay, and then if I were to go ahead, edit, and spelling, check spelling. All right, and now it's actually selected that, and I did go through selection. It's starting on it already. What do I want to do? Skip it? Ignore every instance of it? Do I want to add this to the user dictionary that is built in? All right, no, I don't want to. So what do I want to change it to? If it's not in the dictionary and it can't figure it out, it's going to have us type something in where we can search amongst these. And I do actually see our change right here to basic. And so I can click on that. If it has some suggestions, it will. If not, you might have to click and highlight that and type it in yourself. Okay. So we can click on change, go ahead and make the change, and you can see here automatically it made the change. Okay. So if I wanted to go ahead and start again, but I wanted like the document, say, to be done, start, okay, it says ready to check spelling. It means I've got no apparent mistakes. Now, one word to the wise, or several of them, just because you have a spell check feature does not mean you just leave it to spell check. You should read the document, okay, over. Put it aside for a few minutes. Put it aside for an hour or half a day, depending on how much time you have between you and the client. It's important for you to just go ahead and read through your document. Reading it, sometimes you'll pick up mistakes that the editor didn't even pick up, okay? Reading it out loud may do it. Also, printing it out and then reading the printout, because sometimes our eyes get really tired with this backlit situation on the computer, and so you do want to print these things out. It'll also make it so that you can see actual size, and that can be an advantage as well. So we need to be picky about this. As a designer, as a page layout artist, you'll move ahead of the gang. You know, if you're in with a number of production artists and you want to stand out, get picky. Get so that you pay attention to detail. Do the fine minutia and the special characters and all the special treatment. Be very, very picky about it, and you're going to go move up the chain a lot more quickly. All right, so the last thing that I wanted to do really, it looks like they have a yellow color, although they didn't really talk about it. How do I get that yellow color in there? Well, if I use my selection tool and choose the text frame, then I can go to my swatches panel. Okay, I don't look like I have a light yellow. Well, not to worry. You need to make sure that the fill color is forward. So if you're looking at, you know, the stroke here, then we need to switch that. We'll click in the fill color here and choose yellow. Alright, so that's really quite bright. We'll be learning more things about color in the future tutorials, but here in the swatches panel you have access to a tint. A tint means that it's lighter. It takes the original color and makes it lighter, and so we go from 0 to 100%. 100% is fully saturated, bright, and then we turn it down. Okay, when we're think about ink on paper. You really don't want to go below about 5%. It could disappear on you as ink gets absorbed by the paper. it just might disappear. So I'm usually, 10% for something like this is pretty good. Okay, believe me, when the ink hits the paper, it'll be dark enough. Okay, and so that's what it looks like. Okay, great job, everybody. Make sure that you pay attention to those details, and happy typesetting.